Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here and welcome back to the railway. Today I'm going to try to build a gigantic passenger coach. Stay with me on this one. It recently occurred to me that real-life passenger trains are horribly inefficient. Look at all these wheels going past. All these wheels cost a fortune, and every wheel has an axle box which wastes energy through friction. And because this train is made up of multiple coaches, they've got to have expensive couplings between each coach, and if passengers want to move around, they've got to somehow cross from one coach to another. So I got to thinking, instead of them building trains with multiple vehicles, why don't they build a train that is just a single gigantic coach with one bogie at each end, which will reduce the number of wheels needed and massively reduce the number of axle boxes, creating friction. Because it would be one giant vehicle, they wouldn't need couplings between lots of different coaches, and if passengers want to move around on the train, they can do so freely without having to cross between coaches. Now, I know what you're going to say. You know why they don't use single gigantic coaches. Maybe we all could have a guess, but you can't deny you want to see this done. So my plan today is to build a gigantic passenger coach to see how it actually behaves on a railway. We all know how a normal passenger train behaves, but what about a passenger train made up of one single giant coach? What problems would that cause? So today I'm going to see if this is something I can do, and spoiler, it is something I can do because I've already done it. So my plan for this was to take a load of old coaches that I don't really use very often and somehow merge them together into one monster coach. And the coaches I had in mind were these old Hornby coaches in this disgusting red and yellow livery. I think this is supposed to be sort of BR Blood and Custard or something, but the colours are absolutely vile. So I didn't mind ruining these. So I set to taking these apart and yeah, that happened. The damn thing fell apart entirely. The roof, the walls, the interior, the chassis, all of it came apart. This was going to be far too complicated, so I decided to use some other coaches. So these are some old Lima chocolate and cream coaches, which to be fair, I do use quite a bit. So I'm not dead keen on destroying these, but needs must. These came apart much more easily. The roof and interiors popped out, leaving the chassis and walls behind, and even the bogies pop off very easily, which is great. So I started by marking some straight lines on each coach where I was going to cut them, and then on to the fun part. So I used my rotary tool to brutally slice the ends off. I did get a sense of grim satisfaction from this. I was a bit stupid though, and I cut the ends off all three coaches. I should have really left two of the ends fitted for the ends of the giant coach, but I was dumb and I didn't think about it, so too late. Now then for the great joining. For conjunction to occur, I taped the coaches together just to hold them in place temporarily, and then I used my soldering iron to physically weld them together. I also used some 3D printer filament to strengthen the welds, just to make sure these coaches would not come apart again. And then it was just a case of finishing them off by fitting the interiors and the roofs. And then it was all done. So here is the result. This coach in model form is 73 centimeters long. To scale, that's almost 60 meters long. So that's the length of 6 London double-decker buses parked end to end. And sure enough, this entire massive coach is just supported on 2 bogies. That is 8 wheels. And I'd love to say this is the stupidest thing I've ever built, but of course it's nothing close, so I'm doing quite well there. What I really want to do though is see how this thing performs on the track. So place your bets, will it be able to get around the track at all? And how long will it be before it derails? If you want to pause and leave a prediction, feel free to, but for now, we're going to give this thing a try. So here is a poor, unsuspecting little tank engine, which I think would look a lot better if it had a coach to haul. Here's one. This is going to look fantastic, isn't it? Good grief, what am I doing? Sometimes I just gain consciousness of what I'm doing and I think, what on earth has my life become? But anyway, I want to see what happens. Can we couple to the biggest passenger coach I've ever seen? Of course we can. Coupling is not going to be a problem here. It's what comes next which I think is going to be the problem. Anyway, I predict that things are going to be fine on the straight. I think it will be the curves where we start to see the problems. So with that, let's go. All aboard for those who want to pass away, and the Peckett's cut out on the points, so maybe even that is protesting. Make sure they're coupled. Right, try again. I didn't actually move it over the points. That was dumb. Okay, and again, here we go. It's quite a spectacle, isn't it? I'll give it that. Right, curves, here we come. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm detecting a bit of a problem straight away. Let's have a look at that again. So, yeah, this thing encroaches massively on the inside line there. So that's the first problem, it's not safe. This isn't just encroaching a little bit, it isn't just too close for comfort, it is completely covering the other line and then some. So if this was real, you'd need tracks which had massive spacing between them, or you'd need ridiculously broad curves. I mean, these curves are quite tight because it's a model railway, but even if they weren't that tight, you would still get encroachment like this. So you can imagine what would happen if there was another train coming down the line. Oh, things would get rather messy, wouldn't they? So things aren't looking too good, not a very promising start. We failed on the first curve, but let's see if we can make some progress, see how much further we can get. It's such a stupid, up, there we go. Right, that's the other problem then, loading gauge. This thing does not respect the loading gauge by a long way. So any trees, any buildings, any line side huts, anything at all, never mind catenary cables or something, anything at all next to the railway tracks is going to get demolished. That is an inconvenience. You wouldn't even think it'd hit these trees, would you? But of course it does. The coach body will draw a straight line between the two bogies, no matter where those two bogies are. So it doesn't matter what track is in between the two bogies, the coach body is going to be a straight line and it will wipe out anything in its path. It's quite fascinating, that. Anyway, I think I need to take this to a part of the layout where there isn't any scenery, because this is just ridiculous. Oof, that's going to be close. Oh yeah, that was close to the beam, wasn't it? Crikey. So this thing taking curves, I think, is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's absolutely absurd, but it's not going to work on this line, is it? So I'm wondering if I put it on the inside line, whether I might be able to avoid those trees. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I think this fence is going to be a problem, isn't it? Oh goodness, yes. Oh well, it's a good job my layout's terrible, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think we're going to be having much joy with that. I suppose I could help it past. Right, I've had to move some of the houses, but I think it's going to work now if I just give it a nudge, so excuse the shaky camera work. Alright, there it goes, there it goes. Oh, okay, it's off. It survived the S-bend. Right, another bend is coming up. Ah. The other thing I can do with this is change the placement of the bogies, which is quite interesting. So maybe if I've just got them too far apart. So, look at this. I can put the bogies in the middle, maybe. God, that took a bit too much force. And hopefully that will improve things. I don't know. I feel like the ends are going to swing out too far now, but I guess we need to see. But obviously I've got to push this because I've lost the couplings on the ends, and good grief, look at that. Yeah, even on the inside line, it is still encroaching beyond the outside line. Yeah, and that's hitting the scenery there, isn't it? So that is even worse. It looks about the same on the straight, but on the curves, yeah, it's way worse. And on the outside line, I dread to think what's going to happen. Look at that. You see that? You imagine being on a train where that happened. You'd look out the window and see the tracks, wouldn't you? Crikey. Yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. So that's a lot worse. I can't even begin to make that do a lap. Another interesting thing to try then would be to put bogies all the way across. We could support the load. But I don't think that's going to work, is it? Because they're not articulated. But we ought to see what happens, I suppose. So I guess this looks a bit more realistic, doesn't it? It's at least properly supported now, but obviously the problems are going to be on the curves. No, it's no good. The bogies have derailed already and flown right off the track, and the loco's stuck. So obviously that wouldn't work. The bogies would need to slide left and right, a bit like on the Hatton's Genesis coaches, but of course the amount of sliding needed here would be impossible. The bogies would have to slide right the way out the side of the coach. Yep, don't think there's any sensible way to achieve that. Alright, so I can't do this on either line, but I do have an idea. Have you ever heard of multi-track drifting? So this is where you can use the pivoting of a coach's bogie to let it run on two different tracks. And ordinarily this is just a stupid thing I've done for fun, but actually this coach might be a good reason to do this. If it's too big for one track, then maybe spreading it over two tracks is the answer. Right, well, this is getting silly now, isn't it? But I have a feeling this might actually work, so let's give this a try. Here it goes. Beckett on the outside line, rear bogey on the inside line. Well, this is terrifying. The track power clip there. The coach passes over it. Right, here we go. I'm hoping it's going to clear the fence. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's surviving though. But will it clear the trees? That's the question. Should have a bit more room. Oh, no. Oh, it's close though. Shall I remove the trees? Is it going to do it without me moving the trees? No. It's trying to, but I don't think the loco can do this. Go on then. For the sake of this video, I shall temporarily remove those trees. So yes, if we started using coaches like that, this is the sort of thing that would have to happen, a fundamental change to the infrastructure. Right, here we go. I think we're going to be close this time until the next obstacle I've overlooked rears its ugly head, but is it going to clear the signal box? Oh, just. Wow, look at that. Crazy. I think the passenger footbridge should be okay. Now here's the tricky part. Will it clear this bit of scenery? Oh, just about. Oh, and this makes me nervous. It's now going underneath the bookcase, which is where I cannot get it if something goes wrong. Fingers crossed then. Is it going to emerge? It is. Alright, so we might be able to get it to do a whole lap here. Oh god, oh dear. Every curve is hairy, isn't it? Okay, it's going. It's taking some of the scenery with it. So I'm beginning to get the feeling, and you might say that I'm crazy, but I'm beginning to get the feeling that the way passenger trains work at the moment is the right way. I think there's a few too many problems with giant passenger coaches to make it truly viable. The other problem with doing this in real life is one that we can't actually see through the models, but it's to do with wear and tear on the track. So we're focusing the load of this entire coach on 2 points, on the 2 bogies, and the track is really going to get damaged from that. So a single Mark I coach weighs about 45 tons fully loaded, and because this coach is made of 3 of them, this would weigh about 135 tons. That's a load per axle of about 34 tons. That's about 10 tons more than the maximum axle weight permitted in Britain. So it would damage the track, and it would also burn out the axle boxes because, again, we're talking 34 tons per axle. That is an awful lot of load. So coaches like this would wear out quickly, and they would destroy the track quickly as well. Okay then, well, I guess that answers that question then, doesn't it? It looks like the railways got it right after all. Thanks a lot for watching, folks. If you've got any suggestions for any similar videos, do let me know. For now though, thanks very, very much once again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Alright, cheers folks, you take care. Next video, world's smallest passenger coach.